breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page lies, it's about to begin. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. There'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend, Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here in Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. It is back home for me. Man, oh man, where do we start? So yeah, what's up? I'm seeing a bunch of folks here that obviously are in the Hurricane Ian impact areas. Wow. Good morning, everybody. Well, here we are. This is Mike and Louie, and we're going to talk a little bit about the tropics and just kind of like read comments, I guess, and kind of digest everything that's happened. I am home. We went to Talladega. I think I slept the whole time. It's like I think I literally just crashed when I got there. Every it was a standing joke with the crew I was out. I'd be sitting there all of a sudden, I'd be like passed out. It was a very stressful week leading up to Ian, no doubt about it. And it was so sad. So sad watching the news. But yeah, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. So Yohel, what's up, buddy? I do have a tan. I know because I fell asleep in my chair. I fell asleep in the chair watching the race. Louie needs a nap. We all need a nap. God, the truck, James, who knows, man? I just text. So I had a lifter problem leading up to this thing, and I knew it was going to bite me. 2 months ago, it did it once. And then on the way, like last week, it started doing it. You know how you get something starting to go. Well, even going down there, it started stuttering a bunch, and oh man, it was like it got me through the storm. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm sure it was a combination of things, but it originally, I think it was a lifter issue, and they told me that was an issue with that year. So hopefully, but Chevy reached out, man. Knock on wood, they responded right away in Twitter, and hoping they can help. Hoping they can help get that truck. But hey, my problem is nothing compared to what everybody else is going through. So sad down there. I just cannot imagine. And the inland effects. We have a lot of personal friends in Arcadia and, inland, Daytona, Orlando, Kissimmee. Just so many people were affected by this storm. It was definitely not, 100% coastal event. My God, that surge was something that we've never seen before in a long time. It was Katrina-like. Obviously the winds, But the inland effects, the flooding rains were just unbelievable. But yeah, thanks for the comments on the trucks. The truck's nothing. We'll get through the truck. It was a miracle though that we got through everything, because I was down there. And I will tell you all, I've never seen storm surge in my life. But man, we were in Rotunda, and that surge water came in so scary fast. It was like before you even knew it, it was a foot, then it was 2 foot, then it was 3. I mean, I can tell you now, if you are in a surge zone, you need to evacuate, because man, that was the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen. You know, our system got a second eye wall replacement right before landfall, and the eye wall expanded greatly, and that definitely put more people in the way of a storm surge. And when the eye wall opened up, I'm not going to specifically name any areas, because there's some areas that are really hit hard, but that eye wall just pushed that water in like unbelievable. I mean, it was just the most amazing, unbelievable, scariest thing I've ever seen. So, you know, living here in Oldsmar, Tampa Bay, I can tell you what, if we get a storm to our north, it ain't going to be good. Hey, Chrissy Ann, I don't know any top wind speeds down there, but Rotunda was weird. That's where we were. And the eye wall, for 5 hours, literally, it was hitting Rotunda where we were. We were right there. The eye just sat and it spun and it wiggled a little bit more east, and it just pounded that area like unbelievable. I mean, I posted a link here yesterday that we'll get into all that a little bit more, but yeah, we're gonna hear some snoring. What's up, Shelly? Shelly did a great job. Thank you to all the it was a busy week. We appreciate it. We had a lot of subscribers, a lot of support. So thank you, everybody. We are kind of a crowd-funded little weather page here, and it takes the support of so many people. That's for sure. But so thank you so much for the support. And it's still ongoing. Still ongoing. Terrible. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I didn't even know where to start today. I mean, every day there's more videos showing up. Just stories. I think I read almost 100 maybe now have died, which is terrible. And actually, we wrote it out. Partly, there's an ABC down there in Charlotte Harbor area. So they definitely were affected. Everybody was affected. ABC, big supporters of ours here, Mike's Weather Page, so big thanks to them. Sometimes there might not be enough alcohol to get you through it. Kaylin, kind of is my summer job. Yep, I dedicate 24/7 in the summertime now. Definitely, it's my addiction, but you have to be 100% in it to understand it. And yeah, so yeah, it's become my summer gig for sure. Barbara, thank you. Power outage map. Everybody's asking. Yep, we got the Furman power outage map here. We can take a look. I think it's around 400,000, 433. So Furman's got a power outage tracker map here. 433,000 still without power. Puerto Rico still got 109,000 out from 109. Yep. So 433. 938. So 433,000. If you click on the map here, you can really see the map, and obviously where the hardest hits counties were, obviously right where the eye was, right where the center of the storm went. So there's Lee County still the largest, 225,000. Charlotte County 71,000. Sarasota 68,000. Even Manatee with 18,000. It wasn't just one county. It was a bunch of counties. Randy got their power back in Puerto Rico. That's good news. Usually the surge north of the eye is not that bad. Definitely not as bad. That, we saw it. I mean, this spiraling effect here, the counterclockwise flow, just pushed that water in. I mean, it was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life. And where Rotunda is, it kind of spiraled around and just kept on pounding that water into the bay. There are little inlets, and man, it was bad. It was bad. And in the water, my God, I've never seen so much inland flooding in all my life. I mean, every road was covered. Every road. So speaking of Furman, I might be heading down there tomorrow. I don't know if I got a truck. Enterprise is trying to find me a car right now. But so Furman's going to be down there, Port Charlotte today, 2000 Tamiami Trail, and Fort Myers at the Lowe's off of Tamiami Trail. So they're going to be down there supporting their customers with generators. Anybody that has any generator questions, how to use a generator, fixing generators, everything generator related. Furman's on the road. They're going to be down there today. So Port Charlotte and Fort Myers are going to be there tomorrow too. So watch their social media channels for where they're going to be if you have any generator help questions. They'll be at the Lowe's, a couple of them. So big props to them. They're big supporters of our page, and we love them to death. Good company, but when it comes time for need, they're there. They're fast. They get their hands-on support to their customers. So big props to them. Also, I got to do a couple props here real quick. We have Coastal Claims. Jason's on our thing all the time. Jason and Frank Dalton. Big company here in Florida. If you have any claims, please reach out to our supporters, because this is the time that they are, ready to, help. So definitely, insurance. Our friends at Decks and Docks, located all throughout the southeast here. Unfortunately, lots of folks are going to be needing their docks repaired. So make sure you look up Decks and Docks. And then I got one more. Josh reached out to me from Universal. They're still doing their veteran giveaway for their free roof here in Florida. But they're a big roofing company here in Florida, one of the biggest. And they're veteran owned. So if you need any support on a roof, then, give them a shot. And then the last thing I'm going to mention here, this was a big deal to me. So there was no internet coverage down there when I was there, and our friends here at Satmoto sent me a satellite phone that I ended up using. Thank goodness I had it, because there was no cell phone coverage down there. So big thanks to Satmoto. I was able to call Julie and of course Shelly, keeping her what the heck was going on. So big thanks to them. That was hate that I had to use it in that in that aspect, but it was nice to have communications when there was absolutely nothing down there. It was the most eerie feeling being stranded on a road, a flooded road, zero lights, zero cars, zero, whatever. I mean, it was bad. But anyway. So anyway, yeah, thank goodness for that. But yeah, and I get it. A lot of people question why I go down there and do this stuff. And I grew up around NASCAR. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Everything you do in life has risks. It probably wasn't the smartest thing to be down there in this storm, but I was able to report the news. I was able to be on CNN. I was on Fox. A lot of my coverage was used worldwide. Hopefully I was able to educate people for future storms. I know I learned a lot, and this all builds my, love and passion for the hurricane season. Just being connected to these storms and understanding them, able to talk more seriousness about them, because I've seen the damage firsthand now. I've been in that situation. I can tell people to get the heck out, like my mom and dad, because, it's scary. But So this is the latest map. Got a big nap in my future. Wasn't Talladega, but meeting up with Cantori, yeah, that was interesting. That's the third time Jim and I have met, and it was pretty neat. The producers were, kind of followers of the page, so it was neat. The truck is dead in the water, literally, Pete. Wendy, what map was most accurate? Well, I'll tell you what, I think the Icon did an amazing job. The Euro did amazing. GFS proved again it was terrible. I'll say it. It's just had a terrible year, and there was too much modeling on that GFS, which confused the cone. The cone is being under so much scrutiny right now that I wouldn't want to be in anybody's shoes right now, but there's definitely going to be a lot of debate now that the storm has passed on that cone, and I get it. GFS was showing Panhandle, and Euro showing Southwest Florida. What do you do, right? But even Shelley got rain and water and surge and crazy eyes. Yeah, that was very nerve-wracking. Thank you, Miguel. Appreciate that. The inland water, I don't know, Brittany, but the flooding, like Peace River and Arcade, there was so much inland flooding. Even Daytona Speedway was almost covered in water, and the inland flooding was just something we talked about that with the ground saturation levels were so high going into this that it just a little bit of rain. I mean, we stayed at a Brew Crew house at Fort Myers the night before landfall, and the next morning there was already flooded roads before the storm even got here. So we knew there was going to be a problem. But thank you, Casey. What's up, Mike Soul? What's up, Ingrid? Tornadoes, Susan. Yep, tornadoes. Hey, Chris Hargis. What's up? All right, so let's talk about this map real quick. Yeah, my hat and shirt, I had to delete that. That's probably, I'm a little crazy sometimes. That probably wasn't the best time to put that video out there when everybody's dealing with a hurricane, so I took it off. But, sometimes you just got to figure out how to make the best of it. So here's the deal. All right, everybody's worried so much about this real quick. Let me show you this real quick, and then we'll keep talking. So there's two spots on the map right now, and I've seen this over the years more than ever. When there's a storm like Ian, right, everybody jumps on the next storm. It's like now that there's this level of anxiety, it turns like, oh my God, we got another one coming. And I've read this so many different places, and the panic is there that, oh my God, there's another one coming. Well, there's two systems out there, right? But I can tell you right now, bottom line, as far as continental U.S. goes, there's very little indication that these are going to be affecting you at all. This one is Invest 9. So we got Invest 92, and this is Invest 91. This little guy might do this. Not even going to be close to Bermuda. This one, so far, almost every model has this going into Central America. All right. If there was any models suggesting otherwise, maybe a little more mentioned, but right now there's a high pressure going to be building in across the Caribbean here and just kind of keep this thing trucking west, and hopefully that's the case. I don't see any signs yet that this can turn north. Casey for sure. Not worried, Karen. Nope. So let's show you the models, though, for sure. I want to show you what's going on. Spaghetti models and all that good stuff. So we got Levi's site. We got Tropical Tidbits up. We got Southwest Water Management site. I got the website and the app all updated with it. So basically, bottom line is this. Here's Invest 91. High confidence this thing keeps on trucking west. I guess you could say there's a brief little window here that maybe we could see a turn up, you never take your eye off the Caribbean in October ever. So not ignoring it at all, just, we live and die by the models, and models in high confidence that this thing is going to keep on going west. So don't want to hype anything more than that right now, that's for sure. But we do have a lot of people watching down in Central America, and it could be a big one. Let me show you some of the latest here on Tropical Tidbits real quick, because we do have people, watching everywhere. So the latest year, GFS really starting to organize this thing. Look, right here. This is next Monday, 7 days from now. We can start to see a developing system, and keeps it going, west. Now, this is where you're going to start seeing people post. This is like middle October. So, I mean, the outside scenario, like I said, I keep hoping this is Chevy messaging me. I'm like, well, please don't tell me my truck's dead. Nothing yet. So yeah, I mean, so now the GFS is showing that. I mean, again, I don't trust the GFS much, but again, this tropical, this is high confidence, at least until, or first part of next week, we can see something develop and entering the Central America there. So there's that. The Euro's showing it now a little bit. This is next Friday. This week coming up, little development Friday, and it kind of shoves it south a little bit more. That makes more sense. We got a big high pressure blocking here over the weekend coming up, and there's your Euro shoving it down into Central America. The Icon, which did really good with everything, almost the same exact path as the Euro. Low pressure dipping down into Central America. So, I don't know. That's pretty high confidence, right? The Canadian model has been pretty aggressive on development, but it's also showing that west motion. So, I mean, there's four solid models showing Invest 91 going. It's I think what got everybody worked up, it's almost in the same spot Ian was, but it's in a different weather pattern right now. So, hey, Robert Bowman. Oh, man. So you're talking about Sarasota? That is my dog. They're so happy to be home. We'll show Hunter here in a little bit, Bonnie. Yeah, Skip was talking about, all right, so let's talk a little bit more, and then we'll talk about the cone. I don't know what to do about the cone. I think I heard it over the weekend. Like we had a shift in the center line of the cone, and it went to the Panhandle for a brief while. And I heard people locally, the cone shifted. The cone, it's going to the Panhandle. It's going to the Panhandle. It's going to the Panhandle. And I don't, the NHC's in a bad spot because they advertise, and I hope I do too, that their cone is anywhere that I could be, but everybody focuses on that center line. I think it's because local news channels, when they post their advisory, they always have that center line. They don't show the cone. They always show that center line. So I think everybody's trained to see that center line. And when that center line shifted, everybody thought that it was going to the Panhandle. But then it shifted back right away. Windshield wiper effect. So there's definitely a highs and lows with emotions with storms, like seeing a little shift. Everybody on the West Coast briefly were like, it shifted. But it obviously didn't. But yeah, there's got to be something, because everybody, too much of the public is focused on that center line. And like I said, when your local news channels show the storm coverage, they always show that center line. And I think that's what everybody just focuses on. They think that's where it's going, So I don't know what they could do any different, honestly, right now. But anyway, everybody's worked up about his Invest 91, like I said. But, so far, most modeling showing this going west. And like I said, it's all high-pressure systems. Euro, phenomenal reading high-pressure systems. And you can see basically what it's thinking. Big old high pressure is locked in here across the south. This is all high pressure. And high pressure spin clockwise, right? So these winds are pushing our system basically west. So right now there's no fronts coming down to indicate anything differently. Remember, this is next weekend. We start looking at fronts. We did this last time, like Ian deja vu here, looking at steering currents. But, we look ahead, we don't see any strong fronts coming down yet. Everything's kind of flattened out. So we'll see if that changes, but for now, high pressure is our friend. And the other system, like I said, the other system is just getting a lot of hype, and it doesn't look like it's going to do anything. Here's some of the longer range models, and like I said, it's going to zigzag. Here's Bermuda right here, and the Azores over here, and it looks like it's just going to split the gap here and go on to the open Atlantic. So, but yeah, NFS 91 Costa Rica, yeah, it's definitely a Central America issue, no doubt, Richard. It's we still got a lot of folks down there. John Ferguson, how's it going, buddy? Golf temps are still warm, Bill. Yep. Cool weather gonna last, Kristen. I don't know what's up with this cool weather. I was actually getting gas in Alabama yesterday, and it was cold, like literally cold. I was cold. It was like, I got to get back. I have flip-flops and my shorts on. I don't know what's going on with this cold weather, just hanging out. High pressure dipping down. We even got a long-range forecast map here showing much below temperatures, 10.8, 10.9. Look at that. So we got another, cold dip here and just hanging around. So just like that, fall's here. Just bam. We go from summer to winter. It's winter. Winter if you're living in Florida. When it's 60 degrees in Florida, it's winter. It's definitely. Oh, anyway. Yeah, Neil, I know the quiet mouse. I know. It's very. It'll be something we'll work on next year. I'm very conscious about my mouse being very clicky. Anyway, so yeah, I'm reading comments. Flip flops and 48. I don't think so, Rocky Boulder. Mike Soul, we found your buddy's boat on the grass side of the bridge, Johel. Wow, man, that's not good. Mike's, yeah, well, somebody brought up a good point. I mean, cleanup weather at least isn't bad. How many of y'all remember hurricanes like this? And when they pass, you have amazing blue sky, cool weather. It's like the fronts come in, pull our systems out of here. And what was really eerie coming home yesterday, I was thinking about it. So Michael was the week before Talladega. And when we were going to Talladega, Michael was coming up from behind. And on the way home, there was the damage, obviously, in the upper Gulf Panhandle, Georgia, Alabama. And then this storm, the same thing, the week before Talladega. And we had nothing but blue sky because we have a cold front. Cold fronts come through and pull our systems northward and ultimately curve. And that's kind of like what happened. And we knew this was the year of the cold front. Cold fronts have been the story. So somebody asked about the Gulf temperatures. It's still hot. I mean, I don't want to get into all this, what could happen. But, statistically speaking, here's where we're at. Just putting it out there. October right here is just kind of where we're at right here. So we technically are still in the got to watch every little wave, every little spot. This could go on all the way through the end of the month. We've had a lot of powerful storms over the years, so don't think the season's over with yet. October brews storms down the Caribbean. This is typically where you see them all in October. I mean, they usually stem, down here, and that's kind of what we just saw, historically speaking. So that's why, Invest 91, I'm not taking my eye off it. I'm just laying it out there. The models aren't showing anything with it right now. So there's no point to go against all the models. There's really, even the ensembles here on Weather Nerds aren't showing anything here. Check this out. So here's a Euro ensembles. High confidence this thing's trucking west, right? We don't really see any random, maybe 1 out of 50 or 2, a couple, but no, I mean, vast majority are going west. Again, doesn't mean it can't change, but as of now, GFS, it's a GFS. I'm not going to get into the GFS anymore. We broke up months ago, and I should have broke up with it even. Well, I did break up with it. I was pretty vocal about it during Ian. It turned out to be very wrong. A lot this year. Not just as Ian, but all year long, the GFS has been terrible. Terrible. We started the season with the GFS putting hurricanes everywhere, and it got everybody in a, freaking out because GFS was spitting out hurricanes left and right. So we have a lot of questions about support, and I understand, and I don't. Freebird. No, Christiane, I did not get to see the eye. The storm kind of went over to Rotunda, and then it kind of wiggled back, and we ended up in that eye wall for literally 5 or 6 hours. Like, we could see sunshine. We knew it was there, but we couldn't get to it because the roads were all impassable and trees down and power lines everywhere. I mean, we found a really good spot at a Publix that was, perfect spot to ride it out. I have a crush on the H-Wharf for intensity. Ain't no doubt about it. Kathy says her dog, here's my dog. But as far as support goes, listen, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I mean, I don't know anything about where to send stuff, where to go. I don't know. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, anybody willing to help is great. I mean, thank you so much. I mean, we got so many people doing drives locally. Everywhere I look, people are doing something, and that's awesome. I just don't know where to take it because some of the area they don't want you around because they're still in cleanup and recovery. So that is something that I just don't know. You might have to do your homework on it. I'm sure, But Robin, definitely support local business for sure. Red Cross, somebody mentioned Cajun Navy. Yep, they're great folks. They've been down there helping out. Publix is accepting donations. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. I'm sure, people ask me specifically, and I don't know. How big was the storm size? Wendy asked. Thanks for subscribing. It was about 500 miles, before landfall. I know because we were measuring it, and I put some pictures out here that. Let's see if I can find them here on my past screen here. There was one that kind of put it in perspective, how large it was as it approached. God, a lot of graphics. There was one in particular. I don't know where the heck's that now. I got 5 bazillion images. But yeah, it was at least 500 when it was approaching. But yeah, I don't know where it was at. I think I must have posted a bazillion images here. This one link that I did share yesterday, though, was provided by Noah. This one right here has imagery, high resolution imagery. Somebody said it was planes. Not really sure. I said satellite, but apparently it was more, I think they did it with planes. I'm not really sure how they did it, honestly. But it's high resolution photographs after the storm, which I provided a link. You can kind of see your areas a little better. You know, I guess the fascinating thing more than anything is if you think about it, you know, everybody was focused on landfall and Port Charlotte, but Fort Myers was not that. I mean, it's not close. It just puts in perspective how big the eye was, you know, and these feeder bands that came off of our storm as it approached, just, you know, put it in perspective that you don't have to be near the center at all to have the worst effects sometimes. And that's what we saw. And again, it proved, you know, that the south side, east side, way more damaging than the north side. So I have winds to the north, but this surge, I mean, it's just so much to be learned with this surge. Larger system, pushing more water. You know, Charlie was a little system. Didn't have as much, you know, wider reach maybe with the eye to push that much water, but we saw amazing surge values. But here's where I wrote it out. We were in Rotunda, and there's Englewood. This water right here, this surge was just terrible. It all came in. You know, it came in. This, I assume, this little canal. Both these little canals. I call them canals. I mean, they might not be canals, but this water just inundated so many people here. It was scary. Definitely scary. When we went out, there was so many people in that area that didn't evacuate either. I mean, when we drove through there, I think every other house had somebody there. So we know when we were leaving, we saw people coming, you know, only going to Rotunda. Like we saw people. We saw 3 or 4 airboats coming in off, I think it was North River Road is the road we were on, and they were all heading to Rotunda because of the people that were flooded. So this was another very hard hit area that we were at, well away from Fort Myers. So yeah, it had, you know, lasting effects on not only just landfall, but, you know, we wrote out a lot of it here at this Dollar General store, which was somewhere around here. There's a Dollar General somewhere around here that we ended up at a lot. But this, you know, just zooming in, I mean, everywhere you look, you can zoom in on this satellite and just see, you know, almost every house has got damage. You know, I mean, everybody, everywhere you look. I mean, look at this, roof gone. Just, you know, so this link really puts it in perspective how bad it really was. And I don't even want to zoom in over Fort Myers area. That was just unbelievable. So. And I got a buddy in the Cape Coral Fire Department. He was texting me a lot, and it was bad, still bad. So, but that's Mother Nature. So anyway, what else are we talking about? So right now there's nothing brewing. Don't get all worked up seeing posts. I don't know what it is about the day after or the week after a storm. Everybody wants to jump on the next storm, but unless you're down in Central America, Invest 91 doesn't look like it's heading anywhere. So that's good news. And the other red spot isn't going to mess anybody up. So long range, there's really no areas pointing, sticking out. I mean, unfortunately, like we saw, things happen quick. I think that was the other lesson. Just when you think that there's nothing brewing, you get a little bit of little seed planted somewhere, and then boom, all of a sudden you have trouble. So I guess in the short term, we'll be just keeping an eye on the lower Caribbean here to make sure that this thing doesn't turn up. But there isn't any model suggesting that right now. So that's good news. Majority of them, at least good news for U.S. Bad news for Central America. So there you go. Don't forget our friends at Fermenter down there. I posted that. We got a lot of great. My buddy Jason Bostow, if you're watching, I'm going to try to call you here in a little bit. I know you're going down there to help people. That's great. Valerie wants to know about my truck. The truck. The truck is got a lot of issues. Had issues going into the week, the trip, that I already was having an issue with the lifter. I think I shared it with you guys too, leading up to this thing, like about 3-4 weeks ago. I mentioned that, the truck had a lifter issue, and if we ever had a storm, I just hope it gets me through the storm season, and it pretty much did. We were 1 mile from the interstate on North River Road. 1 mile, I could see the interstate. It was that close, and it conked down on me. So it did its job like a rock. Chevrolet. It got me through 6 storms now. 2 category 4s, maybe 5. Thank you, Emily. I hope information was good for you, good or bad. Andy Sims, hey man, I don't, if they help me get my truck fixed, I'll be Chevy for life. Hey man, I just want to put a big ass number 3 on the side of it. I have been a big Earnhardt fan, so it's only fitting that I have, we could change the name of it to the Storminator maybe. I know not everybody I know everybody isn't on TikTok. I became a TikTok addict. I love TikTok. There are so many videos on there right now from the storm. I've learned that once TikTok figures you out with your preferences, I've seen so many videos on there just this morning. Stuff that doesn't make the news, obviously. More like firsthand videos. And the one that keeps popping up are people that are out in the rivers and houses. The inland effects were way more, pronounced this system than past because of the rain, the amount of rainfall. I mean, I did do the little CNN skit, and I think the one thing that stood out more than anything to me was the amount of rain that fell. I just couldn't believe it. There was one time, I'm literally, it was blinding. I couldn't even see out the windshield. It was coming down so hard. It was, and again, the surge coming in. The wind was so strong, literally. Our truck was sliding backwards at one time in the wind. Literally, I'm looking at the median. And I told Phil, I'm like, we're going backwards. Like, full lock brake, and the truck is sliding backwards. I lost my tonneau cover. So during our CNN interview, we were kind of parked and the wind was coming from our backside. All of a sudden, the tonneau cover just whipped off. This is at night. This is like 6 hours after landfall, and it just flew like it was like it took off a mile away. I'm sitting there. We both looked at each other like, what was that? So anyway, somebody asked about the website. The website did great. Sherry, thank you. I was very happy with the website. Tony, thank you for that. I'm glad everything worked out okay. Appreciate that. People caught off guard, Megan. Yeah, I think there was a lot of discussion about this thing weakening before landfall. That was really odd. But 50 Star, I know 50 Star. What's up, Baby Blue? I think they sent me a shirt a couple years ago. Skip Sloan talks about the St. John's. Yes, I'm very curious about the St. John's River. That slowly rises. I do have a link on my page here. You can take a look at the rivers and currently where they're at. I haven't used them all year. That means I can't find them. Here we are. So here's current river forecast. Here we can zoom into Florida a little bit better. Everything purple is major flooding. We got a lot of them offline. What's up with that? But there's your purple. This is part of St. John's River. These areas are expected to peak, like, for example, October 8th. This is St. John's near DeLand. This was supposed to peak tomorrow near Sanford. St. John's is way above flood stage right now. Here's Peace River. That was a bad one. Arcadia especially, 22 feet. Record was 20, so the Peace River definitely broke that record. The Myakka River almost beat record stage. So anyway, a lot of rivers at major flooding or record flooding still. Oh, man. So, anyway, we're going to post, again, more about the firm, and they're on their way down. I know, like I said, I heard it's just so bad down there right now. People are just, generators everywhere. Just, aid is, so I don't, like I said, I don't know how aid is getting that down there because a lot of roads are impassable. There's a lot of areas you're not allowed to go in because they're still doing, recovery, search, and rescue. So I don't know. If anybody has any good information, you can feel free to post it on our page as far as places to dump off and maybe where to bring aid. But there you go. Anything else? Anything else? Darkness at night. What sites do I use for models? Well, I'm a Connie or Corrine. I love Tropical Tidbits. I have those linked. There's a lot of places to get models, but I definitely support Levi, so we share his stuff a lot. Northport flooded, yes. Eric, yeah. What about our buddy Eric? I think I read somewhere that he didn't do too bad. Emily says there's no service, which I agree. It's Lee County Sports Complex. George, my truck is at Dimmitt Chevy. Furman is at Fort Myers Lowe's, South Tamiami Trail. Shelly just posted, so definitely want to give a big shout out to our friends at Furman for helping support as much as they can. What's up, Sean? Thank you, buddy. I do have stories to tell, Casey, but I'm going to wait for a rainy day on that one because it's probably too soon. Chris says everybody's good. That's good. Robert, no, I think the shift east was just that cold front. Cold front, man. It just Charlie 2.0, man. It just curved up. You know, it just something about it. When they come off Western Cuba, they curve. You know, Eastern Gulf does not weaken storms, and that Ian went right over that loop current we've talked a lot about. It was the perfect storm as far as what it needed to intensify. Perfect in a bad way, but it was able to really intensify there. You know, pressure is lowered and soaked up all that Gulf warm water, and even that frontal system helped some of the outflow, enabling it to strengthen more, which we've seen a lot over the years. Hey Harold, what's up? But yeah, so no shrimp attack. I did have. What did I have? I had. Well, my back is done. I don't know why. Nothing's on the horizon. Caribbean, yes. Central America needs to definitely be paying attention to Invest 91. For sure, we could see a hurricane brewing for Central American first part of next weekend, or brewing towards the weekend, but landfall likely like early week next week. This time next week. This thing could be chugging west. So, thank you, Karen Mitchell. My neighbor, Jack, Bill. I assume you're local. I feel bad for Jack because I took that. We boarded up the house here, and then when we went to I didn't do that side of the house. So, Jack had to look at my plywood for a week. Tom says 10,000 people missing. I don't know about that. I mean, I hope that's wrong. I mean, a lot of it's they've lost contact, so I don't know about the evacuations there. I don't really get into that. Mike Sherman, thank you, buddy. A lot of it's just Floridians. Let me tell you. We have an RV. That's right. We went to Talladega without a truck. It's our yearly tradition. We've been going to Talladega since Emily was an infant. Now she's 16. So I can tell you this. All the girls were very excited that we got to go. I was a wreck. Every chance we sat down, I was sleeping. Everybody made fun of me the whole weekend. Every time I fell asleep during the race, I'm just glad I got home. I told Shelly I'm taking a big-ass nap today. But it was good, man. It's memories. The girls... they were happy. They got to go. Oh, let's see. So, yeah, Ozona, I know right where that's at. Any storm to our north, man, we saw that little bitty track change, and, man, a surge went from worst-case scenario to Tampa to, and man, what a lesson to be learned looking at the eye versus this Fort Myers surge, right? The eye opened up. I went through an eye wall replacement. It was huge. There was graphics where Charlie would actually fit in the middle of the eye of Ian. It was the eye wall of Ian was huge. Well, all that does is make a stronger outside band of storms that pushed into, unfortunately, that area wider, stronger, and some of the hurricane hunters were reporting that the lightning was the most intense that they've seen. So it was strengthening at landfall. Worst case scenario, you never want to strengthen at landfall. Lowering pressures induces more surge because of pushing down on the water. Surge Surge is influenced by lowering pressures along with wind. So everything just lined up for this, would just shoved all that water right into southwest Florida there. But lambs, the only thing that I was kind of stressing about was the surge. I could not believe the water that was coming in. I saw it firsthand, and when you have 130, 40, 50 mile an hour wind pushing water, it just pushes that water. Until you see it, you don't really understand it. I mean, now I know. I mean, that surge, when that water is pushing that, when that wind's pushing that water, I mean, I had video, a lot of video, showing what surge looked like. I mean, I can share that, at least something, I guess. Let's see. I post so much stuff. Sometimes it's hard to find any of this stuff. Let's see here. Man, that was forever ago. Well, here's one example. So this shows you the wind, and you can just see the waves, right? It's just constant blowing water, and it doesn't stop, and that just keeps going. It just keeps coming. I mean, the wind does not stop, so when it's just bringing that wind with it. I mean, this was one of my most shared videos on Facebook right here, or Twitter. Look at that. I was in the eye. That was 150 mile an hour winds. It maybe gusts higher, I don't know, but that puts it in perspective, what it looks like. It's blinding. You can't see. And the gas station fell apart right before, right in front of us. The whole side came off. We were protected by the building, but yeah, it was something else. Yeah, I saw the time-lapse surge of Fort Myers Beach. That was just nuts. How fast that water came in. But any information that I can get, we will share. Like I said, our friends from Furman are down there. I just shared where they're going to be at. They're on the page, their social media channels. Nothing else, at least in the United States, to worry about as far as impacts from potential upcoming systems. I mean, our Invest 91 definitely looking healthy out there. This is, like I said, I can understand why people are hyping it up, because it's in the same general area as where Ian was. It's just we have a different weather pattern now with the high pressure kind of locked in overhead. So, that should remain. As I mentioned, though, anytime you get a system here, you just got to watch. So far, the models have it going west. If anything changes, man, I'll be the first one to report on it. But as far as consistency with models go, it doesn't look like it's not, it's going to go west. Some questions I had, what are the temperatures in the Gulf right now? Let's look at sea surface temperatures and take a look at what's going on in the Gulf. I think we're still pretty dang hot, though. It won't take long, man. A couple cold fronts. So we're still, 85 in the Caribbean, 85, 85, 85, 85, 84, 84, 84, 84, 84, 85, 84. So still 85 in the middle Gulf. Still hot. 85 here, 86 over by Bahamas. So the water temperatures are still high. you know, you got to look at things like this ocean heat content. You know, that's why you never turn your back on October. October, you know, still has pretty warm ocean heat content. Some of this has actually cooled down a little bit. You can see Ian's path south of Cuba here. We got a little bit of bright yellow now, which indicates some of that water upwelling cooled off temporarily probably, but still you can see where Ian was. Actually, I wonder if we could see this on the satellite. Check this out. Sometimes you can see it hasn't been updated yet. This only goes to 10.2. It should have been by now. Sometimes you can see temperatures cool off. But all right, well, here we go. We'll be live tomorrow. Weather-wise, things are quiet. Just, you know, thinking everybody down south for sure. And it was indeed worst case for many folks. Just all you got to do is flip on the news and see that. I hope the cameras don't turn away, as we've seen a lot with other storms, because they got a long road of recovery coming ahead. Don't forget a lot of our supporters here on the page. A lot of them are in this industry. So if you gotta choose anybody, make sure you check out any one of our supporters. They're all big fans of our page, so we work hand in hand together for sure. So all right. Well, I'm home, so we back tomorrow for sure, and we'll be posting anything we find that we need to share. Just kind of feel helpless right now, honestly. I don't know how to help. One good thing about our page is there's a lot of great information shared amongst our fans, and a lot of times, a lot of the comment sections, people share information. So that's one good thing about our page is, people helping people. And sort of the article that Fox News did, one thing about hurricanes and it's the only little good thing that comes out of them. It brings people together, and people helping people, and I see a lot of that going on, so that's great. And we'll get through it. All right, so we'll be live tomorrow and see what you're saying. Radar path, that's a good question, David. Brian McNulty down here, we have a link to a radar site. I don't know if he's updated it yet or not, but I bet you he did. Should be a loop here somewhere. Past cyclone radar loops right here. Yeah, we do. So here's our storm. This is Ian. That massive eye wall. And that eye maintained itself almost, a third across the state. And then it reemerged itself and reformed back into a hurricane again. And, so much focus on Florida, but we still had a lot of issues in the Carolinas and Georgia and northward. Not taking anything away from you guys. I'm sorry. For sure. I mean, I feel terrible if you guys were affected too. I don't mean to talk only about here, but this is what it looked like coming out of Key West radar. You can see the eye goes through an eye wall replacement. See how small the eye is, and all of a sudden there it goes, boom, just like it shrinks. It just eats it's just a phenomenon. It's crazy, but new eye wall forms in the outer eye wall constricts the inner eye wall, and we go from little eye to a big eye, and sometimes that's a sign of strengthening right at the last second. You can see that. So just take your eye on the eye wall here, and you can see that all of a sudden it opened up here, and we got a new eye wall being developed, and it kind became the dominant eye wall, and it doubled in size practically. And man, look at that sucker, man! It just incredible. So the eye it's just phenomenal if you think about it. The eye is so big. That's why we had so much effects way south of center. Again, another reason not to focus on the center. Center. Everybody focuses on that center line. This storm, more than any storm, the eye wall was so wide that the center, 30, 40 miles south of center is where we had some of that most serious surge. So, I can see where, you get worked up and follow the, you follow the eye wall or the center line, but yet, the effects were way south of that. And here's another radar site. This is on Brian McNulty. I got the link. I'll circle here in a second. But look at that. See, here's the eye. There's our new eye wall replacement cycle that comes around and it shrinks the little eye. Look, here's all our tornado warnings in the red boxes popping up. This tornado warning after tornado warning. And then there's our eye. Just phenomenon. Just crazy. And, we had winds all the way through Orlando, North, Lakeland, Daytona Beach area, Cape. Of course, we had surge in North Florida and South Georgia. We had surge. Surge in the Carolinas. We had a new moon, some of the biggest tides already. But anyway, if you want to look at that, this right here. Past cyclone radar loops right above the monthly track. I don't know why I have it there, but that's where it's at right there. You can take a looky. All right. The eye was huge. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow for sure. Thanks for tuning in. It was a weird show. I didn't know what to. I didn't really even know what to talk about today. It really doesn't hit you until you start to see the footage and the aftermath, the days after. And now, now we're starting to see, more and more video of how bad it really, really is. But I appreciate all the thanks. Everybody's part of this page. Hopefully the information helps some folks. Daytona was flooded, Carmen. Yes. Daytona Speedway really got flooded. And the St. John's, some of the spots in the St. John's isn't going to peak until midweek. The truck. My Like a Rock truck. I don't know. God, I hope Chevy comes through for me. Like I said, I had issues going into the weekend with it. But the storm actually kind of did it in, so. All right, well, be good, everybody. We'll see everybody tomorrow for the Daily Brew. Let everybody know we're thinking of you, and we'll get through it the best we can, right? And I'll keep watching Tropics, and don't get all worked up on these other two spots right now, especially if you're living in the States. A lot of hyping going on out there right now about the next storm, but nothing heading to the States right now, so that's good news, I guess, right? So, all right, we'll see you guys. Bye-bye.